There we go. Hello and welcome to Tapping Tuesdays. Wow, it was really hard to get here. I know I just made a post saying that I wasn't sure if this was going to work today. So hopefully you'll find me before I'm done doing the intro. But welcome. If it's your first time here, welcome. If it is not your first time here, welcome back. What we do here on this channel for this hour is EFT, which stands for Emotional Freedom Techniques, also known as tapping. So if you've seen that and that's what you're looking for, you are in the right place. If you're not sure that's what you're looking for, hang around, because what it is a technique that'll teach you how to speak with your body, your nervous system, your subconscious brain in alleviating stress and overwhelm and trauma. I don't go into a lot of detail on how it works. There are hundreds of clinical studies that you can look up. On our channel, we have hundreds of videos alone that could describe a whole lot of that to you. But here we want you to experience it. So this hour is for you to engage with an EFT practice, whether it's something that you've done for years and years and years, or you're brand new at it. This is a place for you to gather community, to have experience, maybe to learn a different way to tap on something than you normally have before. And just have some love and some care, some good feelings, which sometimes are hard to find these days. So I will explain how the process is, and then we'll jump right into it. We do have a live chat that goes the entire session. Feel free to drop in at any time, anything that you want to tap on. I may or may not be able to be super specific about it, but I do my very, very best to include every single suggestion that is given. And even if we don't tap specifically on what you've asked for, your body will receive benefits from tapping today. And I will give you suggestions with every subject matter that we do choose, that will help you adjust if what we're tapping on isn't super specific to what you're experiencing, or you'd rather tap on something else. I will help you make that more specific for yourself, because this is where all the change is happening, right? Is in your own body. I am here to guide you, to support you. But other than that, I want you to make decisions for how this works best for you. For that same reason, I don't tend to go through all of the tapping spots. I don't want you to be worried about my cadence, about what spot I'm on. I don't want you to think, oh no, I've done this wrong, I wasn't following, or oh, this spot is tender for me today, I don't want to tap here, but she's doing it, so I've got to do it. None of that. One tapping spot will work. You can use one acupoint the entire session, and that will be giving you the response that you need from your body for an EFT session. Now, there are benefits to all of the acupoints. There's a reason why we have all of the spots that we do. But if it just doesn't work for you, or you're getting a really good response staying here, do that. I want you to learn to listen to your body and how your body is asking you to follow or not follow any sort of, pattern with the tapping spots that you use in a session. So I tend to stay right here, and sometimes I'll go right here for like the whole session. I'm as boring as possible, because I want you to listen to this conversation that's happening in your own body way more than you're listening to me. Okay. And if you have a suggestion that you don't feel comfortable putting in a live chat on the internet, no worries. I didn't even get a chance to put my email in. I usually put it at the very top of the chat, because I was so scattered trying to get today to work. I'll put it in now. Okay, I can't talk and think right now. Already mistyped. There it is. Okay, so my email is in the chat. You might have to kind of dig for it, but you can always email me the suggestion that you would like to tap on, and then I can bring it up anonymously the next week, and we can tap on it together as a community. And I do have several emails this week to bring up, so I might go like 5 minutes over today, since there was just a little bit of a struggle getting YouTube to get to a live feed, but we're grateful for it. We're not going to complain, because we want it to continue. All right, let me think. I think that's all of the kind of rules and expectations for you to have. I'm going to say hi in the chat. We'll take just a minute to get grounded, and then I will share the community emails, and then we'll get right into it and combine all of it together and figure out what we're going to tap on first. All righty. Hi, Zarina. Yeah, a different thumbnail. Sorry about that. I did have a picture, but it wasn't working for like 15 minutes, it wasn't working. Wasn't even sure I was going to get to go live today. So maybe I'll replace that later. But yeah, I'm glad you found me. Hi, Mary. Happy Thanksgiving. Tap on the stress of seeing family members that are difficult to get along with. Yeah, I think that's a very valid request. I think that happens to a lot of people during this time. Oh, and thank you very much. Hi, Trisha. Glad that you're here. Hi, Kimberly. Incorporate removing blockages of fear and anxiety that are preventing us from moving forward in life, maybe being caused by past experiences of being hurt. I really appreciate that. I think that is extremely valid. And I think that ties into one of the community emails too that I have for you. Oh, Zarina likes that too, for Mary's suggestion. Jackie, yeah, I had a hard time with YouTube today too. And it was only YouTube. It wasn't the whole like internet or connection or anything. It's, I don't know if they're just super saturated today or if maybe they're making changes to the platform. Sometimes that messes with things. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Blast Scout. And another vote for Kimberly's idea. Let's see. Hi, Joyce. I'm glad that you found it. Yeah. Let's see. And Gregory, hello. And I was like, who is EFT uterus? It's me. It's me. I'm still scattered. Okay. Alrighty. Let's get grounded first, and then I'll read the emails because I think that they might coincide. Not coincide is not the right word. Be familiar with some of the suggestions we already have. And I need to ground and get more present. I was so worried I wasn't going to be able to connect with you today. Okay. So first, in grounding, we're going to do very gentle. Just want you to bring your awareness to the fact that you have a body. And this may sound a little funny, but when we dissociate, we oftentimes dissociate our sensations, period, like all of our intake into our body. So our attention is not on the fact that we have a body. So I just want you to recognize, and you can look at your body parts, at your hands, at your legs, at your feet, and just acknowledge, oh yeah, I have a body. You can breathe, remember to breathe. Let's go ahead and take a deep breath together. And now I want you to notice what's on your body. What clothing do you have? And you could be a little more specific with that. Like I have tattoos. So I also have tattoos on my body. You have hair on your body, or you could say, well, that's part of my body, but however you want to view it, but just have that little bit of conversation with yourself. What's on my body? There's a pink cardigan, t-shirt, socks. What of these things are on my body? Okay, let's take another deep breath. Now we're going to focus on where our body is. So just notice, are you sitting? Are you standing? Are you laying down? Are you in a big room, a small room? Are you on a couch, a chair, floor, carpet? Do you have a blanket? Where are you? You could even, I am in this country. I am in this state or city. I am in this area. I am in this moment in time. However you want to fill that space of where you are, just have that conversation. We're just grounding and paying attention to this moment. Okay, and let's take another breath here. And lastly, let's notice inside of our bodies. And you could be literal with this and inside, okay, I have a heartbeat, my lungs are expanding and shrinking, my blood is flowing. Or you could say, well, I've got pain. I can feel like I've got a headache and I've got a knot in my shoulder and, my hip is tweaking and I've got stiffness in my knees. You could say any of those, or you could, well, I've got heaviness in my heart. I've got anxiety in my throat. I've got chaos in my brain. And we're just noticing, we're just acknowledging. We're not trying to fix anything. We're not labeling anything. None of it is bad. We're just noticing. We may not want it, but we're not labeling it as bad. And let's take one more deep breath. Alrighty. Now, let me share with you what our fellow tappers sent in, and then we will get right to tapping on it all together. Having to scroll through my phone. I normally put this all on a spreadsheet, so it's easier to pull up, but that did not happen today. Today has been its own kind of day. Okay, so it's another community member talking about anxiety and fear and acceptance for scary things coming in the future. This one in particular is on a medical procedure that is necessary to have done, but fears around it being done, and then fear of like, well, what about the results? And then what am I going to do about that? Spiraling about the what ifs that are coming, and maybe feeling like they're coming really fast. Maybe they feel like they're coming really slow. But things that are overwhelming that currently in this moment you're powerless to do anything about. Okay, and that's very valid. I think that's really common for us to, how do I have empowerment in this type of a moment? And inner child work, wondering about, can I talk to my younger self? And this is become, I'm so grateful, it's become so much more popular recently, in just normal psychology, mainstream psychology, I'll say that, to connect with the parts of yourself that are still like alive in these past scenarios, right? It's a known understanding that the nervous system stays alive in those memories, and that everything that was a rule, that was a feeling, that was the truth in that moment, is how your brain is living it. So even though you are older and you may have more of an understanding, your body, your nervous system responds to as if all of that past rules and engagement are true. So feeling powerless in your own life could be because you were powerless when you were younger, and part of you is still reacting from that space. So going back and talking to your younger self is very, very helpful. And we'll see if we can work that in today. And feeling unsafe, feeling terror and anxiety, and feeling at risk of an attack. And this could be, for this person, they had a specific example, but just to broaden it for everyone, fear of being attacked in judgment, fear of being attacked emotionally, mentally, financially, physically. There's a lot of different ways that we can feel very vulnerable, especially if what we're trying to work on is expanding ourselves. And like, but I want to be my true self. The person I want to be is, I want to have blue hair, but I'm 65 years old, and that's not appropriate for a 65-year-old, or whatever belief is it. By the way, I don't believe that at all. I think it's amazing to rock blue hair, whatever age you are. But if you feel that way, and if you're afraid, like, well, people will think I'm an irresponsible 65-year-old if I have blue hair, or people will think, all of whatever judgments are there of, I want to do this thing for myself, but I also want to control the outcome so that I feel safe to do this. Otherwise, I don't think I can, sort of conundrum, right? And then that can be something that's a very real situation as well, with someone is waiting to attack you. There are mean people, there are bullies, there are narcissistic relationships that make that really, really tricky, because it's not a past fear. It's something that's present in this time. And how do I navigate that? Or do I just not get to, because there is an actual threat? So all really great things. And I believe that's all the emails. If there's one that I missed, I'm so sorry. Please let me know if I missed yours, and we will bring it up next week. Alrighty, so with that, and I know the chat moved a little bit more, so I'm just going to check in, and then we'll get right into tapping. And again, just to let everybody know, I'm going to go about 5 minutes over today, because things were just a little slow getting started, getting signed into the live. So let's see. Gregory, hi Tanya, glad you're here. Oh, thank you. Hi Erin. Serena, maybe we could tap on being scattered too one of these days. I could benefit from that. Trisha, I'm never in the same country as my immediate family at Thanksgiving. Great to have friends spend with. Yay. We're glad you're here too. And I hope you get to feel connected, even though you're long distance. Feeling powerless is definitely big. Medical stuff is scary for sure. Jackie! Hi, Jackie. I know Jackie back from when I was a teenager, so so much big stuff. Yep, there's a lot of, okay. These emails are so relevant to me. Thank you, Kimberly, for that validation. And let's go. I need to tap off chronic pain and treatment to instead bring elevated emotions of gratefulness. I love that. I really appreciate the way that you phrase that. Yeah, a lot of big things today. And I really appreciate this because big things can feel too big to tap on, right? Like, how am I going to make any difference in this in a short amount of time? And that can feel discouraging because if it's another big thing that you have to deal with to get results, then that can make it feel like, well, I just don't have the energy to engage that. Hopefully by the end of the session, you'll recognize that that's not accurate. The brain is this tiny little organ, but it's so powerful. And the little tiny neuron connections that tell us, how big we feel about big things are so little. And if we just find just the right thing to tap on to get it to break that synapse, then it doesn't trigger in the same way. And then you're free of that response. Even if you're not free of the duty that you still have to move forward and complete. And I meant DUTY. Okay. How do we want to tap first? Let's just do a general tap on big things, on there being big things. And then we'll see where that goes. And yeah, we'll see where that goes. And then we'll choose a different thing. So I'm actually going to start tapping here. As I consider everything that I want to be different and what I believe or know needs to be adjusted, it's all so big. It's big concepts. It's big shifts. It seems like a lot of work and things that will take a lot of time. But even though it all seems really big to deal with, I choose to deeply and completely accept myself anyway. Even though right now, it all just feels too big, I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself anyway. Even though I may not believe at all that I can start to resolve this. And focusing on it right now just makes me feel more of what I don't want. And I don't yet have any viable solutions. I still choose right now to deeply and completely accept myself anyway. Big problems. These big problems that I have. Big problems in my body. Really big problems in my body. Big problems in my brain. Big problems in my brain. Big problems from my past. And big problems creating issues for my future. Bigger than me. Bigger than my time. Bigger than my energy. Bigger than my problem solving. Bigger than my skill set. Bigger than my knowledge base. Ugh, I'm doomed. Even if parts of me really do feel doomed and overcoming these big problems, I still choose to hold space and be surprised by a solution. Now that sounds silly. How can I be surprised by a solution? Solutions don't just happen. I have to make them happen. I have to chase them down, tie them up, drag them to my problem, and make them interact. It's a lot of hard work to find solutions. Even if part or all of me absolutely believes that solutions only appear this way, I deeply and completely accept myself. And I continue to hold space to be surprised. I wonder, have I ever experienced an easy solution? Yes. No. I don't know. Well, what is an easy solution anyway? What does that mean? Does that mean that it was quick? Does it mean that it was simple? Does it mean that I just didn't have to do a lot for it, so it's kind of automatic? As I ponder if these or other things create my easy solution definition, I allow myself to ponder, well, if that's what an easy solution is, how would I even know it was a solution in the first place? Wouldn't that also just be things going right? Things going well? I have experienced things going well. I wonder. What is the difference in my own response when I perceive what's in front of me as going well versus not going well? Well, one feels good and one doesn't feel good in varying degrees and definitions. Okay. I wonder, what is my determination for that? For whether something has gone well or not? Oh, does it mean that everything has gone perfectly to my own expectations? Does it mean that there haven't been any questions of things that I could just see straight through? That it was just clear the whole time, and I never had to adapt or adjust? In what way do I define something going good versus not going good? As I consider this question, I deeply and completely accept myself. And I wonder, why does this matter so much to look into? I mean, maybe I'm feeling irritated about all of these questions. Things go good sometimes, things go bad sometimes. And I'm overwhelmed with the amount of things I'm dealing with right now. So why does it matter what I think about good versus not good? Even if I'm questioning the value of taking this time, I hold space for myself. And I offer compassion. I offer to myself acknowledgement that this is hard. These are hard things. It's very difficult. And my intention in these questions is to alleviate some of that as much as I can. And if I can't remove what it is, because it's something maybe I just have to deal with, is it helpful for me to adjust how I perceive it, to ask questions and determine if there is possibly a way to make it smaller, a way to make it less scary? As I consider my ability to adjust, I deeply and completely accept myself. And maybe I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it myself. I've done so much. It's already so hard. And what, now I have to take time and energy to do this too? And why? So that I can keep going so hard, so that I can keep dealing with all of this? That's not what I want. I want relief. I just want to be done with it. I want it to feel better. I want someone else to take over. I want someone to tell me it's done, we're good. I can put it down. I don't want to make it easier to go through. I just don't want to go through it. As I acknowledge these or other feelings that I have about these really big things in my life, I deeply and completely accept myself. These big things. I wonder if making myself feel better isn't worrying about the solution. I know I want a solution. I probably even know what solution I really want. But what about if I take time to validate how it's affecting me now? Because now is real. Now is this moment. Now is where I am. And this moment, this is hard. And maybe some of what I'm carrying, what I'm feeling, I can let it speak. And I can let it breathe. And maybe that will allow me to have more space. Space to engage more if that's what I need. Space to rebel against it and just do something anyway, even if I don't have a solution yet. Maybe space to just cry or sleep, laugh, just not think for a minute. And maybe it won't bring me a solution, but maybe it brings me what I need, what I'm trying to get from my solution. Because isn't it true that when this is resolved, I'm going to feel so much lighter. I'm going to feel so much relief. I'll feel so much peace. I'll feel so much quiet in my body and in my mind. But I don't have that yet. I don't have my solution yet. But what if I could agree just in this space, in my body and in my mind, to receive the relief that I can? Receiving relief, allowing release, chipping away at the big stuff, releasing the parts that I can of the big stuff. And as I give myself permission to let the good feelings in, I may forget that I can do that sometimes. It's okay. I'll do it when I remember. I may feel like it's not safe to do that. If I feel good, then I won't push forward and finish all the way. If I feel that fear, I can acknowledge it and try it for a day. Because if it's true and I get a day behind, I'll still be okay. But if it's not true and I have a whole day of peace, of rest, of feeling better, that's eventful. But as I acknowledge the real weight of this big stuff, and I acknowledge my ability to apply kindness to myself now, I allow the space of healing that those two combined can bring in this moment, even with my solution still being somewhere in the future. My solution today, my body, feel good. This big stuff today. And as I explore how to allow myself peace before I have my big solution, I deeply and completely accept myself. Okay, pause and take a deep breath. I'll take just a moment and think about how you felt when you first started to think about big stuff before we tapped on it and the response that had in your body. And think about how you feel about it now when you think of that big stuff. Does it affect you the same way? Or does it not quite have that same response in your nervous system? Does it feel more distant? Does it feel smaller? Does it just not feel as reactive? Were you sighing, crying, laughing, relaxing? Having a temperature change, all of those can be signs of your subconscious brain hearing the words that you're saying and agreeing with you that there's maybe a different way to approach it that's better and healthier. And now it's going to start to work on building those connections, even though you're no longer tapping. So good job. All right, I'm going to jump right into like the anxiety, scared, overwhelm, tapping with younger self. Okay, so shake that out if you need to. That was setting a foundation. So if you're like, I don't know if I noticed a difference, that's okay. If you did notice a difference, beautiful. Let's go ahead and jump right into anxiety. And I just want to remind everyone, if tapping is too aggressive of a feeling, there is a clinically defined method of EFT called touch and breathe, which is where you hold over the acupoints. You want to hold some attention there. So you want to pay attention, maybe put a little bit of pressure that you are holding that acupoint. But this is a viable way to address that too. So if, as we get into this, it's a lot of emotion and it's too big, and the tapping is hard to remember to tap, or it's too much input into your body, you can just hold over an acupoint. You don't have to keep tapping. Felt like that was important. So, all right, let's get into it. And I'll just hold on my chest. I'll have that as kind of a reminder that that's an option. Okay. So the words that we'll use for this, I'm going to go with I feel so small. And if that doesn't resonate with you, that's okay. You feel so other. So I feel so scared. I feel so broken. I feel so lost. I want you to focus in on a phrase that you might say as a child, something that's simple, that's more direct than some kind of complex sentence or explanation for what you're feeling. I would choose something more simple, if you can. Go with what you feel is right for you. But that's my offering of direction. Okay. So I'm going to hold over these acupoints. You're welcome to tap if you want to. I'm going to just hold for the tap and breathe method. As I allow myself to become quiet on the outside and focus inwards on the big feelings that I have deep inside of me. And I discover where I keep my big fears, where I keep my big anxiety, where I keep these heavy, deep emotions that I've held for so long. As I connect with these deep spaces inside of myself, I deeply and completely accept myself. As I observe these deep, big feelings inside of me, inside of my body, attached to my soul, a part of my history, I realize that what they make me feel, what I determine is true, is that I feel so small. I feel so small, so incapable because of these feelings. And even though right now I feel so small, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though right now connecting in these deep places is intense. And my belief right now with these big feelings is that I'm so small. And I don't know how to make it different yet. I still choose right now to deeply and completely accept myself. And I wonder, these feelings are not new feelings. They've been here a while. How long have they been here? How old was I when I agreed to begin being a vessel for this feeling? How old was I when being too small became who I was? Go ahead and allow yourself to pick an age, and it's okay if your brain kind of bounces around. You can just choose an age. You're not going to be wrong. Whatever you choose, you will not be wrong on this, and I say that for a fact. If you're not feeling attached to a certain age, you can pick one. Your brain knows what you're targeting, and your conscious brain is guessing. Your subconscious brain knows. So it's okay for you to choose language to talk to your subconscious brain about what it is you're addressing. It knows what you're reaching for. So don't worry about getting it right. Okay, just do the best you can. As I become aware of what age, how old I was when this became a part of me, I may not want to revisit what happened. I may not remember really what happened. I may be extremely curious about what happened, but not knowing what's real or what I'm just kind of making up because I want to know. Even if it's not clear to me or I don't want it to be clear, what I do know is that it's here. And my body knows. And parts of me know. Even if not all of me knows. And I give myself permission for that knowledge to be enough. And that it's okay and possible to release, even if not all parts of me understand. Able to release. Able to release from all parts of me. Able to let go without fully comprehending. I wonder, why has it held on in the first place? Why is this piece of my history alive in my body? Maybe because I just haven't known how to cut it loose. Maybe because a part of me wants to be rescued. It feels stuck there and she doesn't know how to get back or how to get away. Maybe part of me has stayed there because I deserve to be heard, because I deserve to have a voice. And in that moment, I did not have my voice. And that part of me is waiting for me to go back there and give it the voice that it deserves to have. Whether it's one or all or other reasons, I deeply and completely accept myself. And I wonder, how do I go back? How do I alleviate this part of myself? And maybe I really don't want to go back. So then how would I accomplish that. I've already lived through it once. Maybe I don't want to live through it again. I wonder, is it necessary to live through it, or can I safely connect with that part of me? Maybe nothing else of that moment has to exist but me. Because isn't that true? That that's where it exists now anyway. Because even though it's still very much affecting me right now, that moment happened so long ago. And there's no evidence of it existing outside of my body. If I walked to the place of where it was, it would be different. The people who were there would no longer be there. Nothing of that moment exists except where I have agreed to hold it. So maybe it's true that I have the ability to choose how to release it and to choose how to make it right. Okay? So, how can I safely connect with that younger part of me? That part of me who believes that she's too small? Well, I wonder if I'm aware of her, she's probably aware of me, and she's probably eager to meet me. Where could I agree to meet with her that feels safe, that feels right? And as you're picturing this, I want you to think of a place. And it could be in the scenario of where overwhelm happened, if that's what feels powerful to you. And sometimes it absolutely does. It can be a frozen moment in time where you go and you just, wreck the place. Or it can be a place you've never actually been. And maybe you really wanted to go as that age that you're meeting with now. It could be a known safe place. It could be at a loved one's house. That's not the place where things happened. It could be at a zoo, at a theme park. It could be an imaginary place. It could happen up in the clouds. It could happen on a rainbow. It could happen in a secret sea castle on the ocean floor. Just whatever feels exciting and happy to that younger version of you, trust that. So go ahead and think of a place. A lot of times I just think of a beautiful, warm, calm, sunny day and like a park bench. And it's not a real place that oh yeah, that was in that park. It just seems like a lovely, safe place to meet. So it's very simple, but that's an option. It doesn't have to be complex. So go ahead and allow yourself, and you can close your eyes for this. Typically we leave our eyes open and tapping, but you can close your eyes for this. Go ahead and see this place and see your current self there. And then notice this younger version of you approaching. And notice how they're responding. Notice if they feel a little bit shy, if they're just a little bit hesitant, or if they're just like, finally, they come right up to you. And have them sit or stand with you in whatever place you are, whatever activity you're doing. And let's ask them questions. Say, do you feel safe here? What is it that I can do to help release these deep feelings that you had to go through? And they may be speaking to you. They may be silent. but just allow whatever's happening to be what's right for this moment. And now let's validate them. And this can be all different types of language where you can say, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry you went through that. It wasn't okay. You're not small, but I see how you felt very small in that situation. It's because it was unfair and it wasn't right. And that should have never happened. And it's okay if you were scared. It's okay if you got mad. It's okay if you've been scared ever since. You've been stuck in this really scary place. It makes sense that you would feel that. But we are not there anymore. We're bigger now. And we made it. And I didn't know that I left you there. I didn't know that I left you behind. I didn't know that you've been stuck there. I didn't know that that's what this feeling meant. But I do now. And I want you to know you can come with me. You don't have to stay back there. That's old. It's in the past and it's ugly. And you deserve to live in a beautiful place. And I've worked really hard to give us a safe, beautiful place to be. And I want you to feel where we are now. Would you like to come with me? And if you got a yes, then whatever method of scooping them up and bringing them with you, allow that to happen. And if you got a no, that's okay. Then you can just say, okay, that's fine, but can I show you? And then whatever version of showing them that you want to use. It could be a magic book, it can be a mirror, it could be a cell phone, it can be a vision, a portal that you open, but some way to show them where you are now in real time. And if your little version of you came with you, allow them to be in your space. See them just super curious and excited about everything that you have. Whether it's really cool to them, that you drive now, or, you buy your own clothes, and the different trinkets that you've gathered, and fun things that you've done in your life, and see them be excited to be here with you. And let's invite them to stay. This is where you can live now. And we can reconcile that by, in your space, you can create an energetic space for them to be, where they have their own room full of all of the things that you wanted at that age that you didn't get. Or they can come over and, you can hold hands and they can integrate into you, or give you a hug, and they can just be a living, breathing part of this current version of you now. But allow yourself to see with your mind whatever makes sense and whatever feels safe. And wherever they are now, go ahead and check in and say, do you feel good right now? Does this feel happy? Does this feel safe? And hopefully you get a yes. If you get a no, that's okay to say, all right, I would love to talk with you about that more later. And say, I'll see you soon. And let them be. Come back to your body. Allow all of your awareness and your consciousness to be back in your present day self. But know that you have a connection back to your timeline and your younger self that you can easily access anytime that you need. And as you are fully back into your body, I want you to feel back into that space where those deep emotions are. and notice if it's different. Notice if maybe something is healed, something is absent that was heavy before. Notice if maybe there's even something happy there now. And as you have this awareness, acknowledge the truth of this process and your ability to travel in this manner as many times as you want, to go back and heal and rescue and bring the pieces of you that are stuck in the past to this moment. And we're not done with this one, but let's take a deep breath here. Okay, one more bit to this. I'm excited. I love this part too. All right, go ahead and keep your eyes closed if you want. We're still going to do some imagination visions. Now, I want you to see in this moment, this present moment where you are right now, your future self appears. Your future self from 20, 30, 50 years from now, however far. It could be more time, less time, whatever feels right for you. But they appear to you now. And as you look at them, you see recognition in their eyes. They understand. They remember this moment. They know where you are. They know what you're going through. They know where you're stuck. And they sit down and they have something to share with you. They want to tell you all of the comforting things, just like you just did for your younger self. They're here to tell you. And they may say, it's okay. You're going to get through this. I know it's really hard right now. There's probably some things that are unfair and things that you're worried about. But I want you to know you make it. You get through it. Things are okay. And maybe they say, I see you. And I want you to know you're so brave and you're so strong. And I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of how hard you try in this moment with how heavy it feels. And I want you to know that I love who you are and that all that you're doing is enough and that you figure it out and you're not alone. And as you receive these words from your future self, allow yourself to feel that same peace, confidence that you are able to offer to your younger self. And allow those peaceful feelings to reach down into your body and allow them to entangle with the truth of your future that you were just given. And then your future self bids you goodbye in whatever way. And then they scoop back to where they belong on their timeline and allow all of your consciousness to refocus on this moment where you are in time right now. And notice in your body and those places that have been so consumed with concern. Notice if maybe they feel a little bit lighter, if they feel a little bit resolved, if there's good feelings that also exist there now. Go ahead and take a deep breath and open your eyes. And let's do just some closing tapping on that. As I consider all of the connection that has just taken place, connecting to my younger self that was, me who is, and my yet to be self who will be. I deeply and completely accept myself. I allow myself to receive good things. I allow myself to receive this connection. And I allow myself to receive the strength that comes from connecting with me, and the healing that I have control over. I have the ability to give and receive from myself to myself. And I acknowledge that's real. And I acknowledge the power that exists in there. And I give myself permission to take action in this way as many times as I need it. Because I do deserve to have reconciliation and receive power in places where I didn't have it yet, and receive comfort in places where I didn't receive it. And even if that's this current moment and I'm receiving it from my future self, I give myself permission to receive. And I give myself permission to give. And as I allow myself to have this ability and this access to be kind and good and supportive and healing to myself, I deeply and completely accept myself. Okay, and stop tapping and take a deep breath. Just sit here for a moment. Don't have to do anything yet, just sit. And allow yourself to feel how you feel inside of your body. And now let's gently draw our attention to being small. Remember that? Does that feel like a long time ago? And those deep feelings and where that connected. How does that feel now in your body? And how does this present moment feel different, knowing that your future self is still connected to seeing you and loving you and caring for you, just like you are so capable of that for your younger self. Let's do a quick, like, when I feel like we're still kind of floaty. So let's do a quick little grounding tap, and then we'll go. Okay. As this tapping session comes to an end, and I feel all of the things that I have felt, I deeply and completely accept myself. And whether or not I want to move on or I just want to swim in these feelings for forever, I deeply and completely accept myself. And I allow both to be true. I allow for these feelings to continue. I allow for myself to expand and have a vessel for this Because after all, if I can have a vessel for big, overwhelming stuff, I absolutely should have a vessel for really wonderful and meaningful, peaceful, and helpful vibes as well. And as I allow this to remain as a part of me, while I re-engage in whatever else I have to do today, I allow myself to integrate all of the healing that I have received, even if I'm not thinking about it, even if I have to feel other things now, I still have full trust and confidence that I get to keep what I found. And it is me. And as I take this new version of me into my present and into my future, I deeply and completely accept myself. Okay, and pause and take a breath. Nicely done. If you're still feeling a little bit floaty, then just kind of do this a little bit. Notice you have fingertips and kind of notice you have arms, shoulders. You can kind of do a brushing and just kind of touch. Oh, I have skin. Oh, yep. Oh, there's knees. Okay. Oh, calves and toes. And that'll just kind of bring your nervous system into processing more information and allow you to be in this present moment more than kind of the ethereal, thoughtful place that you've been. Thank you so much for being here with me this week. I know that the chat has moved a lot and I'm excited to read it and I'm cheering you on for all of the things that you've said. If you've asked me a question, feel free to email it to me and we can continue a conversation there. I'm going to let you go because we've gone over time. But this has felt like a big one, you guys. So I hope that you're feeling better. I hope that you're feeling heard and cared for and loved. And I hope that you're feeling hopeful and bright and joyful. I love you so much. You are so very cared for, and I'm so very proud of you and for being here and taking these steps for yourself. It means so much to me, and I'm cheering for you. So have a wonderful week. I look forward to seeing you next week. And if you're not able to be there, I'll be thinking about you, and there will always be a recording available for after. So take care. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next Tuesday.